Has your health spiraled out of control due to reasons or excuses? And on today's episode, that's exactly what we're going to uncover. So let's dive in. In this episode, we'll differentiate between legitimate reasons and plain old excuses as to why your health has spiraled out of control. Now the mission is to go ahead and take back your health once and for all. So without further ado, let's get into the episode, and I'll check back with you in a few.
In a world where the consequences of neglect and denial can lead to a premature end, one man's confrontation with his mortality ignites a spark of transformation. This is the story of Kelly, a 42-year-old man teetering on the edge of life and death, whose journey back from the brink is nothing short of miraculous. Kelly, once a figure of dejection, sits on the edge of his bed in a dimly lit hospital room, grappling with the gravity of his situation. The steady beep of a heart monitor punctuates the heavy silence, a constant reminder of the precarious thread by which his life hangs. A doctor, the bearer of bad news, informs Kelly of his pre-diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. The words hit Kelly like a freight train, evoking vivid images of his mother and uncle, both of whom succumbed to their illnesses. The stark realization dawns on him. He could be next. Haunted by the specter of his potential fate, Kelly finds himself alone in his home, standing before a mirror that reflects a man he barely recognizes. The reflection serves as a stark reminder of the choices that led him to this precipice. It's in this moment of profound introspection that Kelly confronts the harsh truth. His health has spiraled out of control, not because of unavoidable circumstances, but due to a litany of excuses he's told himself over the years. The realization is a bitter pill to swallow, yet it sparks a flicker of resolve within him. Determined to change his narrative, Kelly embarks on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. He begins to question the very foundation of his lifestyle, challenging the habits and rituals that led him to this point. With each question, Kelly peels back the layers of denial, uncovering the raw truth of his situation. He recognizes that he's been a prisoner of his own making, shackled by excuses and a reluctance to face reality. But Kelly's story is not one of despair. It's a testament to the human spirit's capacity for change. Armed with a newfound determination, Kelly sets out to reclaim his health. He educates himself on nutrition and exercise, slowly but surely replacing his unhealthy habits with ones that nurture his body and soul. The journey is fraught with challenges, but Kelly's resolve never wavers. He finds strength in the memory of his mother and uncle, using their loss as a catalyst for his transformation. As Kelly sheds the weight and regains his health, he becomes a beacon of hope for others facing similar struggles. His story, once a cautionary tale, transforms into a source of inspiration. Kelly's journey teaches us that it's never too late to change, that the power to overcome our greatest challenges lies within us. Through determination, self-reflection, and a willingness to confront our deepest fears, we can emerge from the shadows of despair into the light of a new day. Kelly's transformation is a reminder that life is a precious gift, one that requires care, respect, and a commitment to our well-being. His story is not just about overcoming obesity and disease. It's about rediscovering the joy of living, the strength of the human will, and the endless possibilities that unfold when we dare to dream and act with purpose.
Now picture this. I'm knocking on death's door. So the doctor comes in and he tells me, hey, listen, you've got pre-diabetes, you've got heart disease, and on top of that, you're obese. Now keep in mind, my mother had just passed away from a heart attack. My uncle just passed away from cancer. I was a 42-year-old guy at the time. I got a lot of life to live. I got like 50 more years left. but I'm about to be cut short because of what's at the end of my fork. So I said, you know what? I'm not going out like that. And I decided to take my health into my own hands. I had to go in the mirror and ask myself some really tough questions. Like, for instance, number one, I had to ask myself, do I need to have this chronic health condition? All of these chronic health conditions? Is it absolutely necessary for me to be a pre-diabetic? Is it absolutely necessary for me to have heart disease? Is it absolutely necessary for me to be obese? So if the answer was no, it was time to change it. And for me, the answer was no. I had to ask myself, are these real reasons or are these excuses as to why my health is now in the dumps? But the more and more I kept looking into the mirror, the more and more I kept getting pointing back to, yeah, man, it's the excuses. You got all the time in the world that you need. You know what my big pitfall was? McDonald's. Double cheeseburger with extra pickles and a small fry. So I knew exactly what the culprit was. Gummy worms, sour gummy worms, trolleys, Mountain Dew. I knew exactly what the culprit was. No matter what I did, I just kept getting pointed back to the food. The reason that your health is spiraled out of control is due to what's at the end of your fork. Like I said before, I've got all the excuses in the world. I gave myself 1,000 excuses as to why my health had spiraled out of control. But you know what I didn't give myself? I didn't give myself good reason. Then I had to ask myself, like, what are the habits? What are the rituals that have gotten me into that? Like I said earlier, I know what the habits were. The habits were me stopping at McDonald's 3 and 4 times a week and getting a double cheeseburger with extra pickles and a small fry. That's what the problem was. Also, there would be often days when I stop by Burger King and double up. I'd go over there and get me a double cheeseburger with extra pickles and a small fry. Then on the weekends, I would get me a big old bag like this big, filled with sour gummy worms. You know what I washed it all down with? Mountain Dew. That was my jam. So I knew why my health had spiraled out of control. So again, I asked myself, are these reasons or are these excuses? Once I determined, yeah, man, these are excuses as to why your health has spiraled out of control. It was at that moment when the light bulb turned on. Go back to the mirror, look in the mirror and say, what are 5 good reasons? These are the questions I want you to ask yourself. Ask yourself, go and look in the mirror right now or after you finish watching this video and ask yourself, what are 5 good reasons as to why I deserve better health? Ask yourself that. Be real, be honest with yourself. Because you know why you have to do that? Gives you a starting point. What are you doing this for? Why do you want better health? Now that you know why you want better health, the next thing is to give yourself reasons as to why you'll never give up on achieving your health goals. Then I had to ask myself, now, what are the new habits that I must adopt to be able to totally transform my health? As you can see on these 2 pictures back here, look at this picture right here. That was when I was eating double cheeseburgers with extra pickles every single week. 3, 4, 5 times a week. This picture, see here, is when I decided, you know what? Now I'm going to turn to the plants. So that is why, see in the background here, is plants saved my life because they literally saved my life. Like I said earlier in the beginning of this, I was knocking on death's door because what was at the end of my fork. I said enough was enough. And I decided to take my health into my own hands. And that's exactly what I want for you. So go look in the mirror. Go ask yourself these questions. What are 5 good reasons why I deserve better health? And what are the rituals and habits that are going to get me there? You know what the old rituals and habits were that got you into the predicament of having to take medication or whatever it is, or your health is spiraled out of control. 9 out of the top 10 killers amongst human beings, but especially Americans, is all in your lifestyle. So if it's your lifestyle that got you into this mess, guess what can get you out of it? Oh yeah, it's your lifestyle. Not the medication. Medication is great when we need it, but it should always be lifestyle first, medication second. I like to say control, alt, delete. Control your emotions, alternate your thoughts, and delete negativity. Now, if I were you, which I'm obviously not, here's what I would do. I'd hit that like and subscribe button because every Monday and every Friday, I'm going to be putting out some heat when it comes to totally transforming your health. In the meantime, you can watch one of my other videos that just popped on the screen. And until then, I'll see you on the next video.